Okay, so this video is gonna be basically a tutorial showing how you're gonna do the OAR conditions for dynamic two-hand and a little bit of why and how you're gonna do that. So when you open OAR, you're gonna have to choose the moveset that you want. For example, I'm gonna try this one just for showing case. You need to click on user mode so you'll be able to edit the config. So you're gonna be like this, you just click user mode, go into the moveset that you want, and then you're gonna have the conditions. If you want the moveset to keep the same conditions and you add to also be used as dynamic grip, what you're gonna need to do is add a new condition, go into OR, add that OR condition, and inside that OR condition gonna add a new condition which is gonna be and then you're gonna drag those conditions that was before, and you have a end condition that's gonna be only trigger like the moveset was triggered before, the usual. So now to make this compatible with the dynamic two-handed, what you're gonna do is inside this OR, you're gonna create a new condition that's gonna be another AND, and then inside that AND, you're gonna create the conditions that you want. But as simple case for NPCs, what you want to do is add a new condition. You're gonna search for actor, is actor base, and you're gonna do Skyrim, SM, and for my D7, which are the player, and you're gonna hit negate. So it's gonna work for basically any NPC besides the player. So for the next condition, we're gonna add the weapon is weapon slot occupied, which are the dynamic grip conditions. I made this condition so you can use it. If you don't have that, things gonna be messy. So what you wanna do is choose the slot with the weapon should be. So if you want to trigger with dual wield when you have two dual hand weapons or one dual hand weapons and one hand on the other hand. On this example, I'm gonna do just showing how you're gonna do with dual wield on two-handed, and what you're gonna do here, you can see the slots that you have. You have right-handed, left-handed, two-handed, and dual wield. You're gonna do dual wield, and then now you already have which actors gonna be affected, when gonna be affected, and now we just need to add which weapons gonna be affected, the conditions for the weapon. So you add a new condition, and then you go equip type. On this one, instead of do equip type like this, I usually like to do, you can delete, you can just right click and delete. You can add a new condition, which is gonna be a OR, and inside that OR, you can add a equip type, and then do great sword. On this case, you do the great sword, you can add another, and you go battle axe, and another, and then you go warhammer. So in this case, you're gonna have all those three weapons, which are the two-handed ones. So we've been able to use when is dual wield, and it is using any of those weapons. So what's gonna see is you're gonna need two weapons, and the right weapon need to be one of those. If you also want to use with only two-handed, so in this case you can still use a two-handed weapon on the right hand and a one-handed weapon on the left hand. So what's happening is if you only want to be specified for dual wield two-handed, you can click with the right click, copy position, and again paste condition below. So you're gonna have the same, but now what you're gonna do is open and check the left hand. So now what we have is a OR condition that's gonna be triggered if it's not the player, if it is dual wield, and if it is using a dual-handed on the right hand and a dual-handed on the left hand. So that's basically how it's done. And these conditions is really needed, especially this one, because of how the game works and thinks about the weapons. So you need to use dual wield or the right, left, or two-handed, because if you don't use it, if you're gonna use a two-handed weapon as a two-handed weapon, all these other conditions gonna be met, because the two-handed weapon, it is considered as two-handed weapon, so you're gonna be use the right and left hand. And basically I can kind of show this game, but I don't want to be this too long, so this is how you create the conditions and have fun. Just hit save and it's ready.